Hey, yo. How's it going, everybody? I'm the big guy. I usually start off, I give you the rundown this week. I'm going to do the Raw and Smackdown reviews, then a review of WrestleMania 10. Then the card as I see it for WrestleMania, then a drink. WWE Drink of the Week. Reading from the Book of Rules. No Battle Droid of the Week this week. I'd usually start off with the news. And I could talk about how Jeff Hardy debuted in AEW and how it's awesome to see the Hardy Boys back together. I could talk about how Chris Jericho apparently still has heat with Triple H, how they apparently hate each other. I could talk about Queen Sharmell going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to her. I could talk about all that. But this week we lost a giant. Last night, Scott Hall passed away. Razor Ramon, one of the best to ever set foot in the ring. And I posted it on Twitter, and I'll say it again. It's amazing how a bad guy could become such a hero to all of us. Without Razor Ramon, WWE, everything in wrestling, you could say it really doesn't happen. So, this episode's dedicated to Razor Ramon. I'm going to go more into it at the end, but let's face it, there's really no other news this week besides that. He was one of the best, and I hope wherever he is, he's found peace. I met him once, great guy. I'll go into it more later. But for right now, let's get into Wrestling Made Simple this week. Let's get into the Raw and Smackdown reviews. On Smackdown, it kicked off with the WWE Champion, Brock Lesnar, coming out to basically start a fight with Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman then came out and said, Roman Reigns isn't here, but the security is. And then basically had security attack Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him. Let's be honest, there was nothing that security was going to do to Brock Lesnar. That security was dead the second they stepped on the stage. So, after this, we got backstage segment where Sheamus and Rich Holland were asked about destroying the New Day's ATV last week. Sheamus then said he didn't care, and he introduced his new protege to go along with Rich Holland, Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne has finally debuted on the main roster, and what did they do? They named him Butch. Good job, WWE. Fucked another one up. Ugh. We then got Sheamus, Rich Holland versus the New Day of Big E and Kofi Kingston. Unfortunately, there was a huge botch during this match, and Big E actually broke his neck during this match. Now, he has been taken to Birmingham Medical, I believe it was, and he is okay. He is doing well. He's moving all his extremities. He does not need surgery. Doctors say he should make a full recovery. Now, it's not a Stone Cold Steve Austin injury. That one required a lot of surgery. That one required so much fixing, I believe, on plates and part of his spine. So, it's not the same injury as Steve Austin. So, Big E should be good. I don't know when he'll be back. It sucks, but I'm just happy that Big E is okay. After this, we got Drew McIntyre was scheduled to team up with the Viking Raiders, take on Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, and Jinder Mahal, but the heels attacked the Viking Raiders backstage and then came out to attack Drew. They were able to beat the shit out of him, but Drew still rolled out of the ring, gave Happy Corbin a look and saying, alright, you want to do it this way? Then I'm going to fucking destroy you at WrestleMania. I'm excited for that match. I never thought I'd say that. I'm excited for a Happy Corbin match. After this, we got Ronda Rousey coming out to address Charlotte Flair, calling her a one-trick pony. Ronda Rousey said that's like calling Mike Tyson a one-trick pony because he wins all his fights by knockout. Or like, so she said, since she called me that, I decided to debut a little message from my old tag team partner, Kurt Angle. Which, if you remember, that's why I said during the review, I'm like, that was a Kurt Angle move. I wonder if she got that from him. So that was a little cool validation for me. That was a little cool one that I was able to be like, yeah, I knew it. Charlotte then came out and gave credit to Ronda for being a great fighter, but WWE is different. Ronda Rousey vowed to pay tribute to Kurt Angle by at WrestleMania 38 making Charlotte tap out and the ankle lock. So that was a little cool one. A little thing from Ronda. They get into a brawl backstage. This leads to Ronda being knocked out in front of a car. Charlotte locking in a few submissions on the hood of a car. It was a very weird little segment, but a cool one. It was a very cool segment. We then get Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya. So apparently, Shayna Baszler and Natalya are going to be added to the women's tag team match later on. That is the talk on Fightful, that they will be added to the match later on. So I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but it would be cool to see because I really do like Shayna Baszler and Natalya. I really do. I think Shayna Baszler is one of the most underrated performers in WWE right now. And I think she deserves a women's championship run, not just tag team. I think she deserves a real singles run. But that's just me. We then got Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura coming out to make a challenge to the Usos for WrestleMania. The Usos said, hey, Rick Boogs, if he could beat Jay, then you'll get a championship shot at WrestleMania. You'll get a tag team shot at WrestleMania. And you know what? Rick Boogs delivered that great match against Jay Uso. Very fun match. And we now have the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. It's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus the Usos for the tag team titles. I kind of like that one. After this, we got Austin Theory coming out to slap the shit out of Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee then jumped over the desk and beat the shit out of Austin Theory. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm excited for this match at WrestleMania. I know people are saying like, oh, it's a mid-card. It's a mid-card WrestleMania. Fuck that. It's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a fun WrestleMania, in my opinion. I'm looking forward to it. That's me. We then got Ricochet versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship in your main event. Ricochet was able to pick up the win, a clean win over Sami Zayn to retain his Intercontinental Championship. This really sets up Ricochet for WrestleMania. I don't know who he's going to face against now, but I hope they do, in honor of Scott Hall, a Scott Hall Memorial Intercontinental ladder match. That would be awesome, in my opinion, to have that to remember Scott Hall by. And then we got the parking lot brawl between Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, and it goes to black. Very good SmackDown. I'm going to have to deduct points for the Big E injury, though. You can't injure Big E. It just sucks that Big E has to go through his injury so close to WrestleMania, too. Apparently they have plans for him at WrestleMania. So it sucks that he has to go through that now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to your Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw kicked off with a memorial piece to Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. And you know what? I got a glass right here. Here's to you, Razor. It kicked off with the memorial piece, and then Kevin Owens came out. He was about to address Stone Cold, and you know what? He couldn't resist. He looks at the crowd and just goes, "Hey, yo," to honor Scott Hall. He then said he's going to destroy Stone Cold at WrestleMania 38 and hit a stunner on the cameraman and said that's the bottom line because KO said so. I guess the message was sent. In a backstage segment, Seth Rollins was asked what's he going to do at WrestleMania now that he has nothing to go for, and The fans chanted Cody. I'm going to make it very obvious. We did not get Cody Rhodes this week, which pissed me off, but apparently they're going to save him if he has signed. The talk is internally in the company. He is with the company. He's still listed for WrestleMania 38. I hope he is, because it could be a great match. If not, I'm sure they'll find something for Rollins to do. Maybe throw him in the Intercontinental title picture, just as a last-minute addition. I don't know. But I'm sure they'll find something for Seth Rollins. He's too talented not to have anything. We then got Damian Priest versus United States Champion Finn Balor in a non-title match. Finn Balor was distracted by Austin Theory on the outside. Austin Theory trying to get a little heat going into WrestleMania versus Pat McAfee. He caused a distraction. Damian Priest hits the Reckoning. And 1, 2, 3, Damian Priest picks up the win over Finn Balor. I guess this is going to be your championship match at WrestleMania, United States Championship. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. I hope it's the Demon versus Priest. That'd be awesome to see. We then got Almost versus Commander Aziz. Now, this was cool because I was watching this in my store with a bunch of my friends. I was watching Monday Night Raw because I had to work last night. And everyone watching this just went, holy fuck! Even the non-wrestling fans were like, how big is that guy? I said about Myles Garrett when I saw him working out and how he was just so ripped and, like, again, such a better version of a human being. I'm like, how the fuck are we the same species? How the fuck is this guy the same? Like, how am I even supposed to compete with that guy? That guy is just on another fucking level. And I'll say that about Almost and Commander Aziz, that these guys, when I saw them at WrestleMania 37, I was sitting probably 12 rows back, maybe 15, and it looked like Almost, he's that big, he looked like he was right in front of me. I'm like, holy fuck, how is he this big? So, Almost and Commander Aziz both come out. They're having a great match, and Almost picks up the win after hitting a chokeslam. He then hit a chokeslam on Apollo Crews after the match. He just basically grabbed Apollo Crews by his head, put him in the ring, and said, you stay right there. Him with a chokeslam. That was just a very cool moment to see. We then got Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins backstage. KO trying to motivate Seth Rollins to find a new path to WrestleMania backstage. Seth Rollins then smiled and said he's got an idea and went out to the ring. And then we got a one-on-one match, Liv Morgan versus Queen Zelina Vega. Nothing really to go on here. Just helped make some tension between Carmella and Queen Zelina going into WrestleMania. Nothing really too big. After a match, Seth Rollins came out jumping happy, jumped into the ring and says, he called Kevin Owens out and says he wants a chance to interview Stone Cold and he wants a match in the main event. If he wins, he gets to take over the KO show at WrestleMania. So that would be a cool little thing. That would be a fun little thing. KO said no, but Sonya Deville came out and said it sounds like a great idea, so that will be the main event. After this, we got the Mysterios versus the Hurt Business. The Mysterios were able to pick up the win in a nice little tag team match, nothing too big. But the Miz and Logan Paul were outside after a match, and they came up and tried to attack the Mysterios, but the Mysterios